million people packed along a harbor, 6 tons of fireworks, and the first major city on Earth to welcome the new year. Every December 31st, while most of the world is still eating breakfast, Sydney is already throwing the planet's biggest opening party. Hi, I'm Amit, and today Curated Globe is going to look at the best New Year's Eve celebrations around the world. And I mean, we're talking about parties so massive, some countries actually plan their tourism economy around them. From the harbor that kicks everything off, to the ball drop that basically ends it, we're going to hit 5 celebrations that each do New Year's Eve completely differently. Some with ancient traditions, some with enough technology to make NASA jealous, and one where 2 million people party on a beach in their swimsuits. Sydney doesn't just celebrate New Year's Eve. They own the entire day. Since they're one of the first major cities to hit midnight, the whole world is watching when those fireworks launch from the harbor bridge. They actually do 2 shows, a family-friendly one at 9 p.m. for kids, and anyone else who can't hang until midnight, then the main event. But here's what most people don't know. The celebration starts in the afternoon with an indigenous smoking ceremony to cleanse the harbor for the new year. The bridge becomes this cascade of gold and silver. The opera house gets turned into a canvas of light, and there are 7 different fireworks barges hidden around the harbor, so no matter where you're standing, you're surrounded. The thing about Sydney is they get being first means setting the tone for the entire planet. When those fireworks go off, it's like the starting gun for a 24-hour global relay race of celebrations. Over 1 million people show up. Locals grab spot in Royal Botanical Gardens at sunrise. Tourists pay insane amounts for restaurant reservations with harbor views, and hundreds of boats basically turn the water into a floating party. A few hours after Sydney, Dubai enters the chat. And because it's Dubai, they can't just have regular fireworks, they have to launch them from the tallest building on the planet. The Burj Khalifa basically becomes an 828-meter tall LED screen counting down to midnight. We're talking about a light show that uses the entire building as a canvas, and it's synchronized with a Dubai fountain, which by the way shoots water 500 feet in the air. But Dubai doesn't stop at just one location. The Palm Jumeirah has its own show. The Burj Al Arab gets wrapped in lights. The Dubai Marina looks like someone set off fireworks in a canyon of skyscrapers. It's like the whole city agreed to flex at the same time. The crowd here is interesting too. You've got everyone from royal families watching from penthouses to backpackers crammed onto public beaches. And the weather's perfect. 75 degrees at midnight, so half the parties are outdoors. Beach clubs throw massive events where you're watching fireworks while you're standing in the sand. And speaking of beaches, wait till you see what happens when 2 million Brazilians decide to throw a New Year's Eve party. Copacabana Beach, December 31st. 2 million people dressed in white. Welcome to Réveillon, the biggest New Year's Eve beach party on Earth. The white clothing isn't just for the aesthetic. It's a Brazilian tradition for peace and good luck. People bring flowers and throw them into the ocean as offerings to Yamanya, the goddess of the sea. You're going to see thousands of people jumping over 7 waves at midnight while making wishes. Rio sets up massive stages along the beach with free concerts that start in the afternoon. We're talking major Brazilian artists performing while the sun sets behind Sugarloaf Mountain. Then at midnight, barges offshore launch about 15 minutes of fireworks that reflect off of the ocean. But here's what's cool about Rio. The whole city participates. Every neighborhood has its own thing going. Lapa turns into a street party. The wealthy hit private clubs in Ipanema, and locals head to house parties in the favelas where you can hear the music from miles away. The energy is just like, it's different here. It's not organized or formal. It's 2 million people who decided to have a party at the same place at the same time, and somehow it works. So far, we've hit the best New Year's Eve celebrations around the world, from Sydney's harbor spectacle to Dubai's technological flex to Rio's massive beach party. But Europe's about to show us how centuries of tradition meets modern celebration. London does something interesting. They mix tradition that goes back centuries with a fireworks show that rivals anything in the world. Big Ben bongs at midnight. Even when it was under construction, they made it work for New Year's Eve. That sound has been marking the New Year since 1859. But then London adds 12,000 fireworks launched from the London Eye turning it into a giant Catherine wheel spinning over the Thames. They sell tickets for the official viewing areas along the river. It's about 100,000 spots. But here's the thing. Locals know that you can watch from Primrose Hill or Alexandra Palace for free. The whole city becomes a viewing party. What I love about London's celebration is how international it is. You've got people from literally everywhere, and each group brings their own traditions. You'll hear Auld Lang Syne in like 30 different languages when midnight hits. The pubs stay open until 2 a.m., and that never happens. The underground runs all night for free, and there's this moment after midnight where strangers hug strangers, and that whole British Reserve thing just disappears. Still with me? Good, because we saved the most famous 60 seconds in the world for last. 1 million people standing in the cold for up to 12 hours to watch a ball drop for 60 seconds. Times Square on New Year's Eve is either the best party in the world or the worst, depending on who you ask. Here's the thing about Times Square. It's not really a party. It's more like a massive endurance event that happens to have the most famous countdown on Earth. People start showing up at noon for a midnight moment. No bathrooms, no re-entry if you leave. December in New York, so it's freezing. But then you understand why people do it. The ball, which weighs nearly 12,000 pounds and is covered in 2,688 Waterford crystals, starts its descent. Every screen in Times Square synchronizes. 1 billion people around the world are watching the same thing you are. When midnight hits, they release 3,000 pounds of confetti. Each piece has wishes written on them from people that submitted it from around the world. So you're literally standing in a snowstorm of human hopes for the new year. Look, Times Square isn't the prettiest celebration. It's not the warmest or the most comfortable. But there's something about being in that crowd, in that city at that moment. It feels like you're standing at the center of the world while it resets itself. And maybe that's why after Sydney starts the party, and Dubai shows off, and Rio dances, and London sings, we all end up watching that ball drop. Because somehow, a glowing sphere sliding down a pole in Manhattan became the planet's way of saying, okay, let's try this again. If this got you excited about New Year's travel, hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible destinations throughout the year. And if you're ready to plan your New Year's adventure, actually any adventure, check out curatedglobe.com. We've got detailed travel guides in ebook and paperback. From all of us at Curated Globe, Happy New Year and peace out.